Hi, this is Zach Meir with the US Chartbreakers here at Zach's Traders Cafe for Tuesday, the 29th of July. Starting off with the S&P, which is still in that strong rebound trajectory from back in April. Obviously, squeezed out all the bears and above the floor of the channel there, 63.40. Looking for it up to 66.30 by the end of next month. If there is a rug pull, not expect anything much lower than 6,200, which is basically post-July support for this market. The Nasdaq 100 is next, and here slightly stronger performance of anything, heading toward the top of that rising trend channel from back in March, heading for 24,100. We're looking at that by the end of next month, given how slow the price action is, and looking at that while we're above the initial um, July resistance of 22,800 and the floor of that channel, which is a May uptrend line. Onto the stocks and quite, well, sort of say fireworks, but some decent situations. Here we've got Adial Pharmaceuticals here just approaching the main resistance line, the February resistance line of $71, and looking for this market to head up to the 200-day moving average as high as 78 by the end of next month, while we're above recent resistance at $53. Moving along the list, and here we've got a situation coming up which hopefully will have legs. Avalon is next, and here just skirting the $3 level. You can see that we had a spike up towards the $5 area, top of the broadening triangle there from April as high as $5.31. And we're looking for that while we remain above recent broken resistance around the $2.50 mark. So hopefully a bit of wiggle room there. The other point to note is that we've had a bear trap gap first, also gapping up yesterday, and an uptrend line in the RSI window, which suggests bullish divergence, and that is a leading indicator on the upside. Hopefully enough to suggest that we won't get anything. We wrote this yesterday's price action was not a one-day wonder. If you are cautious, you probably wait for an end-of-day close back above the 50-day line, $3.04. Maybe a more straightforward situation coming up next in the form of ALX, and here you'll see that we are right back up there at the main neckline resistance around $64, and looking for an end-of-day close above that level to give us a move as high as $93 by the end of next month, and hoping that we'll stay above recent resistance of 55 in the meantime. The reason for being particularly buoyant about this situation is the way we've got a rising trend channel at the low, and also we've had a double bounce with the RSI bounce include in the bounce above neutral 50 that we've had in the last 24 hours. Onto a stock which hopefully is ready to continue its recent positive run of form. Here we've got Connexa, and situation is that we're looking for the shares to hit a resistance line projection there up towards $5.60. Hopefully we can get there by the end of next month while we're above yesterday's support around $3.15. The end of day close above the Monday high, a very positive development for shares. Stock which we have looked at quite a lot in the recent past is Elong Power, and here looks like at long last the shares could give us a sustained move through the 200-day moving average, which is around the $2.90 level. Above that, looking at the top of the rising trend channel, $5.80 by the end of next month. Ideally, we stay above initial July resistance at the $2.50 zone. Moving along the list, and Loop Industries is next. Here we've got a classic gap through neckline resistance. In this case, hoping that the shares will remain above $1.47, which was resistance on the way down, and head back to retest the best levels of last month, $2.28 by the end of August. Moving down the list, and here we've got Nvni, and here you can see that we've gapped up well through neckline resistance. In fact, the level in question, arguably the $50 level resistance back in May. Above that, we're looking for as high as $95 by the end of next month, especially while we remain above that $50 area, and ideally yesterday's support zone around 53. Red Hat is, or rather, RedCloud is a company that we've looked at quite a few times before. Looks like it's shaping up quite nicely. That's said on the basis of the multiple support points there at the floor of a rising trend channel from back in June. The top of the channel heading for the top of the range there around the $5 level, and hopefully we'll see that by the end of next month. If you're cautious, probably wait for another end of day close back above that gap down that we had at the beginning of the month. But it looks as though the shares have done enough there, especially with the rising 50-day line and extended RSI 50 rebound that we've had over the course of this month. Very, very strong looking setup there for the stock. Scilex is next, and here we've got a classic turnaround there, a sort of saucer-shaped turnaround. Looking for the shares to hit top of the rising trend channel there at $25, hopefully by the end of next month, especially while we're above the 200-day moving average at $13.64, which we managed to clear yesterday. Another plus is the way that we gapped up yesterday, suggesting strong momentum, especially when it's through a 200-day moving average. On to STEM, and here while the stock gapping higher, we've also had a golden cross between the 50 and 200-day moving averages above the recent resistance at $18.60, looking for at least $26 at the top of that rising trend channel from the turn of the year, and looking for that by the end of next month. Skycorp is next, and another stock pushing through its 200-day moving average. In this case, we don't have much charting data to go on, which means we are having to project things a little bit. Probably the best call at the moment is that we'll head back up to the $5 area while we're above the 200-day moving average at $3.70, and hopefully we'll do that over the next couple of weeks. Finishing off with Upland Software, and here shares spiking up quite strongly after having being congested below that 50-day moving average. Current situation that we're looking for retest of April resistance towards $3.10 by the end of next month, while we remain above resistance on the way down around the $2.40 mark on an end of day close basis. RSI getting on the right side of neutral 50 in recent days, and that is a positive for the stock. That's it for me today. More updates tomorrow.